heads around when we flood this fucking place.
Investigation selected. Deployed military server.
The outcasts moved a military server to the water treatment facility. See if you can figure out what they're using it for.
Remote access limited.
Sounds like you're gonna need to stay near the terminal so Isaac can infiltrate the system. Outcasts are using the service to encrypt their comms.
Additional terminals detected. infiltrating terminal.
Inventory.
Terminal infiltrated. Hostile communications network compromised.
That doesn't sound good. This water treatment facility hasn't been maintained for months. Isaac is detecting a massive pressure buildup. You'll need to find a way to bleed the system.
Water pressure at dangerous levels. Mapping infrastructure. Multiple valves connected to the valve.
I'm not a plumber, but I guess you're gonna have to fix whatever's wrong with the valves before you can bleed the system.
Pressure venting failed. Water pressure vented. Threat neutralized. Hostile radio intercepted.
Division is trying to shut down the plant. Flood the system.
You need to get to the manifold.
Manifold malfunction detected.
Now, there's no time to repair the system. You need to destroy the manifold to release the pressure.
Manifold access available. Manifold integrity compromised. Pressure decreasing. Significant pressure release detected. Manifold access available. Water pressure at critical levels. Structural integrity compromised. Manifold destroyed. Pressure stabilized.
the Echo. Well, the system may be offline, but at least the outcast can't use it to flood the campus.
Investigation deployed military server completed. Investigation selected. Large chemical tank.
Proteus was transporting some chemicals. In the wrong hands, they could be used to build explosives, or in a chemical attack. We need to secure that tank. Looks like the outcasts have the tank prepped for transport. If they get the Metro line working, they'll have a direct line to DC. Contains a kind of methane. The liquid form is combustible, but the gas is supposed to be inert.
Target detected.
Thank you for taking care of those tanks. But some of the gas has gotten into the ventilation system.
Local power grid compromised.
That IED knocked out the power grid. We'll need to get the power back online to vent the gas.
Power grid inoperative.
This electrical grid definitely doesn't pass code. See if you can figure out how the system's wired and reboot it.
Power grid restored.
With the power back online, you can vent the tunnels.
Airborne toxins at critical levels.
See if you can vent the area. I don't want you breathing that shit.
Extraction fan activated. Fan activated. Extraction fan activated. Airborne toxin level decreasing.
Those tanks destroyed and the ventilation system back online. There's one less threat to DC. You can head back to the Echo. The air should be safe to breathe now.
Investigation. Large chemical tank completed. Investigation selected. Deployed IEDs. Triggering frequencies detected.
Isaac is picking up a high volume of encrypted frequencies. If each of these frequencies is an IED, they can decimate DC.
explosive devices located. IEDs are armed.
The outcast must have rigged this place to blow. Find the IED detonator and shut it down.
Explosive deactivated. IED deactivated.
Yeah!
Terminals secure. Defend the terminals. Improvised explosive devices disarmed. Network disabled.
Whoever tried to detonate the IEDs must be close. Hunt them down and take them out.
Heavily armed hostiles detected. Threat neutralized.
Thanks for getting that detonator offline. You can head back to the Echo.
Metro station investigated. Collating tactical data. Investigation. Deployed IEDs completed. Collating investigation data.
Let's see. You eliminated the IED threat to DC, secured the water treatment facility by fixing the pressure, and finished Proteus's mission of eliminating the flooding threat from the reservoir. Good work, Agent.
Inventory. Season. Progression.
Base, this is Proteus calling in my sitrep. It's 1700 hours. We are on the way to the target. Should reach the reservoir in the next couple of hours. We were able to recover some supplies and comms, stumbled across an abandoned water treatment facility and found some chemicals that might be useful. Came across a decommissioned National Guard base, commandeered their mobile shade server and comms equipment. Figured it was fine since they weren't using it anymore. Swept the local weather station to recover their equipment, but it was FUBAR. I'll send an updated sitrep around 1900 when we get to the reservoir. Proteus out. Proteus to base. Requesting backup and air support. Outcasts have taken the convoy. Our intel was wrong. The site was not abandoned. Outcasts are set up in the college. No idea how long they've been here. We've taken multiple casualties. Outcasts have the comms and the chemicals we recovered en route. They have the shade server. We walked into an ambush. I repeat, Proteus to base requesting backup and air support. Proteus to base. Mission failed. Outcasts have taken the site. They're using the hydrogen chloride we recovered to make IEDs and rigging them with a remote detonator. Overheard one of the guys talking about using the shade server to mask the signal so they can use the metro to transport the IEDs into DC. I'm gonna try and recover the server. If anyone can hear this, do me a favor. If I don't make it back, tell Mel I'm sorry. They were right. Hey, Mom. Just wanted to let you know that I made it back, and I'm fine. The dorm didn't burn down. Flight was garbage. We were delayed 3 hours and had to switch planes because some fatty broke the plane. Good news, Blue Ladies killed it at the lacrosse derby. Derby ball this year is gonna be sick. The team is amazeballs. Mom, I gotta go. My roomie just came back. She's not feeling great. They think she has strep or something. I promised to go to the health center and pick up her prescription. Anyway, just wanted to let you know I made it back and didn't get murdered on the metro. Love you. Don't forget to listen to my podcast. Prof says I need at least 50 listens to get the extra credit. How are you holding up?
Fine. We're always stretched pretty thin before the new fiscal year. I just hope we don't lose that grant money.
You'll get it. I don't know about you, but the health center is basically at capacity. The strain this year is really bad.
We've definitely had an influx of flu cases, but the presentation seems off. Sarah's got us on a yellow alert.
That's normal. At this point, I'm just handing out hand sanitizers and condoms, hoping they'll be responsible and I don't run out of antibiotics.
Same.
Last thing I need is another chlamydia outbreak. These kids need to blow off some steam, but the derby ball always ends up with at least one kid in here with bronchitis or a broken leg because they're trying to impress some girl. I don't know if I have it in me to deal with that shit this year.
Could be worse. You could be handing out methadone because the clinic down the street lost its funding.
Yeah, never have to worry about funding in academia. Just getting the deliveries out to the boonies.
You've got a metro stop.
The only drugs they'll deliver on the metro, I'm not allowed to prescribe. Just tell me the truth. I fucking hate this rumor mill bullshit.
Sarah's talking about quarantine procedures, advising people to wash their hands and stay home if they feel sick.
I've got at least 5 cases that aren't responding to treatment. I'm running out of beds and asked the president of the college to evacuate one of the dorms to set up the quarantine and cancel the derby ball.
He tell you to go fuck yourself?
Called me a fearmonger. Accused me of trying to create a panic so I get a raise. Fucking academia.
Well, it will come out of his bonus when they have to pay out the wrongful death lawsuits.
As satisfying as the idea of that chucklefuck losing his job is, I'd rather not be toe-tagging my kids.
I get you.
You have any casualties?
First one, yesterday.
How old?
4. Little blonde girl, mom's an anti-vaxxer. Thought kombucha and miso soup would cure her. When she finally brought her in, she lost 10 pounds and was severely dehydrated. Wasn't anything I could do. Her heart couldn't take the stress.
15 new cases.
The derby ball?
I fucking told him. You let them have a party. Kids who are sick as fuck will down a bunch of painkillers, smoke and drink until they feel good enough to party, and then infect each other.
We had to lock the doors and turn people away yesterday. 2 of my nurses are out, and the longer this shit goes on, the more I'm convinced it's not the flu.
If I didn't know better, I'd think it was smallpox, but that's fucking crazy.
It's not. That's what we're all saying here. That's the rumor Sarah keeps trying to kill because they don't want to start a panic.
We have to quarantine the kids and evacuate the school. We don't have the resources to deal with an outbreak like that. I gotta get this asshole to listen to me.
I sent some samples to the lab, told them to test for smallpox. Should have them back in a couple of hours. I can email you the results. Maybe seeing it on official letterhead will make them listen to you.
Hey, Mom. So school is fucking closed. I did all those stupid podcasts for no reason. Finals are canceled, and they ordered an emergency evacuation of campus. Last night I got kicked out of the dorm and moved to another dorm because there wasn't any more room at the health center. Roomie got to stay because they still don't know what's wrong with her. It's fucking scary. There's all these rumors going around, and everyone's afraid of getting sick. And now I've got a tickle in my throat, and I'm like, is this how it starts? Are they gonna let me get in Chad's car and leave? Chad offered to drive me back home. It's kind of nice of him, but also, after that shit he tried to pull freshman year, I don't know that I want to be in a car with him for 3 days, you know? Anyway, just wanted to give you a heads up that I'm coming home and that I need pozole. Love you. Make me pozole. Welcome to KenleyCast, the only podcast for and about Kenley College that gets you extra credit in your history and media production courses. This is Eve, and today we are talking about the history of Kenley. Exciting stuff. I know we've all heard the rumors about the secret society that constructed the obelisk in some of the buildings on campus, but what's the truth? Well, our beloved General Kenley was a member of the Golden Architects. He was the original owner of this land, and he did decree that the college be founded so that, an education in line with the core beliefs of the Order could be established for Maryland men, and the reservoir be built to serve the moral, intellectual, and practical needs of Maryland. Like, this guy super had a savior complex. And I know it was normie for his time, but that's totes sexist now. Welcome back to KenleyCast, the only Kenley podcast where extra credit is not only a bonus, but a requirement for listening in. As time marches on, so does the progress of time. Where were we? So yeah, Kenley. Not a bad dude, but also not the greatest. I mean, he's no Lincoln, and he's no Lee. And for an institution that didn't allow women until 1920, which... actually, that's pretty good. Like, that's 6 years before Sarah Lawrence was established. So yeah, good on you, Kenley College, for being ahead of the curve on that one. But yeah, the real reason they let women in wasn't because they were super progressive or anything. It's because they needed the money. World War I had like totally ravaged the population, and there are not a lot of dudes looking to get their education when they were worried about starting families. And those who were dealing with PTSD and the influenza pandemic that wiped out a lot of potential student bodies. However, there were a lot of spinsters looking to make something of themselves, and Kenley capitalized on this new demand for higher learning for ladies. In order to go co-ed, 2 additional dorms were built to house the new students. I mean, it was the roaring 20s, but it was still the 20s and like way before the sexual revolution was even a thing. And it took like another 37 years for Kenley to be like, no, we don't want to be associated with that creepy-ass secret society BS anymore. They wanted to appear more modern and liberal and tried to rebrand the college as a bastion for free thinkers and exploration. But there is still some really jacked up shit in the student code of conduct. If you haven't seen the original charter and code of conduct shit, you should check it out in the library special collection. It's creepy as fuck. I mean, like, there's a section on how Puerto Rican you can be to be a member. Like, what? Welcome back to KenleyCast, the only podcast that's still casting. I know we've talked about some of the weird shit on campus, like the obelisk. I mean, could there be, like, a more phallic symbol just hanging out in the quad? We get it. You are a men's organization. You need the penis beacon to light your way. It's just super weird. But, like, not as weird as the fact that there's, like, a church with a crypt on campus. Like, why is there a crypt? Who's buried in the crypt? Is a crypt without bodies? Like, if the crypt doesn't have bodies, is it just a basement? And, like, if we get high as fuck and try to hold a seance in the church basement, is that, like, super weak sauce compared to holding one in the crypt? But it's weird, right? And, like, I've gone to the library and tried to research the shit, but like a bunch of the golden architect shit that's just embedded in the floor and walls, the college doesn't really want you to know about it. Oh, and like the statue that's in front of the library. That like weird silver lady, you know why that's there, right? Some chick in the 70s got tired of staring at the big dick in the quad, and so she was like, we need a naked chick to counterbalance that shit. That's some white feminist nonsense. Like, not to body shame or whatevs, but just throwing a naked silver lady that blinds the fuck out of you on sunny days in front of the library does not offset the huge marble dong that you can see from space. And I swear to God, sometimes if the angle is right, that obelisk is like right between her tits and she's grabbing it, and like the mirror reflection titty fucking thing is like so not what the artist intended. I probably shouldn't smoke and then record this podcast. Good thing this shit's not live.
Inventory.